Hey everyone, it's Heather with Tiller Money here. This is just a quick video to walk you through how to transition from a feedbot sheet to a Tiller Money Feeds sheet. I first want to share a few benefits of transitioning. First, you'll be able to own your own spreadsheet rather than the Tiller Feedbot account owning the Google Sheet. You can also connect your financial data feeds to any Google Sheet with Tiller Money Feeds. You're not locked into using our templates, you can connect it to any Google Sheet. You can also start using our maintained and officially supported foundation template for Google Sheets, which is our best template yet. You'll have a more powerful version of AutoCat for automated categorization, cleaning up descriptions, automatically applying tags, and more. It's really powerful and really awesome. You can track balances for your manual accounts or non-automated accounts more seamlessly right from the Tiller Money Feeds add-on sidebar. And finally, you can easily add the right solutions just for your financial situation into your foundation template using the Tiller Money Labs add-on, a secondary add-on that supplements the Tiller Money Feeds add-on. So, let's get started. We highly recommend getting started in the foundation template. As I said, it's our best template yet. It's really easy to use. It gives you an annual cash flow analysis. You can quickly set up an annual budget in just minutes. To get started in the foundation template from the Tiller Money console here, you'll see this Create a Spreadsheet option. You can click Start with Google Sheets, click Use Template in the upper right. This is going to create a copy of the foundation template on the Google Drive that's signed into the browser. So just keep that in mind. If you have multiple users that use Google Chrome, just be sure you're signed into the browser using your Tiller subscribed Google account. Next, you'll be installing the Tiller Money Feeds add-on for Google Sheets. I'll go ahead and click Add to Sheets here. This is going to open the G Suite Marketplace. I'll choose Install, Continue, choose the Google account I use to subscribe to Tiller Money. I'll allow it to work in my Google Sheets. And then after just a few seconds, it'll install the add-on and we'll be ready to use. I'll go ahead and click Done, exit the G Suite Marketplace. Next, I'll click Use. And then it's going to prompt me to sign in with Google again. This is actually signing into the Tiller Money service. So I'll go ahead and I'll choose that Google account that I use to subscribe to Tiller Money once again. Then I'll be prompted to link sheet. Now, the next step is that you'll want to make sure that you choose the same accounts that are already linked to your Feedbot sheet. So here's my original sheet, my Feedbot sheet. I can confirm which accounts are currently linked to that sheet and feeding data. So I'll be sure to connect those accounts using the Tiller Money Feeds add-on. Primary checking, savings. I'll click confirm, and then it'll start feeding data into my foundation template. I'll see my insight sheet come to life here, and then after a few moments, I'll get an indication of how many transactions and balances were added to this foundation template. One thing to keep in mind is that if you've been with us for a while and you have many years of transaction and balance history data, it can take a few moments for the update sheets process and the Tiller Money Feeds add-on to complete. So then I get the option to take a tour, which I'm just going to skip for now. I'm also not going to spend any time really going through the foundation template and how to set it up. You can visit the Help Center to learn more about how to use the foundation template. We also do offer a weekly Foundations webinar that goes through how to use the Tiller Money Feeds add-on, how to use the foundation template, get set up, and then we have a Q&A. So highly recommend registering for that and either attending live or just getting the link to the recording the next day. But the next step, if you're coming from a Feedbot sheet, is to transition your data, because you probably want to bring over your categorized transactions. You can see that the data that's here, none of it's categorized. It's still just using the example categories, things like that. So there are a couple options for getting that data over. First, you can manually copy and paste carefully from your previous template. So I can just, copy in the date, fill that in here and paste it in. Same thing with the rest of the columns. I'll want to make sure that I do this carefully because the column order could be different between my Feedbot sheet and my Tiller Money Feeds sheet. So that's the manual way. It doesn't take that long. It's a great option if you prefer to kind of understand how everything's getting moved over. The other option that you can use for transitioning your data from a Feedbot sheet into a Tiller Money Feeds sheet is to use the Tiller Money Labs add-on Migration Helper. So this is a second add-on that you can get. If you go to the add-ons menu, choose Get Add-ons, and then search for Tiller Money Labs, then you can go ahead and install this add-on as well. It's a similar process that we did with the Tiller Money Feeds add-on. Just go through the steps here to get this one installed, and then I have the option to use that migration helper. That's where all of the solutions are. The templates that you used to previously be able to access on the Tiller console are now in this Labs add-on. So I'll go ahead and I'll run the Labs add-on in this sheet. And the Labs add-on is intended to allow us to iterate quickly on solutions and templates and tools. They're supported in the Tiller Money community now. They're not built as rigorously. They're somewhat experimental. So that's what this first screen is just asking us to acknowledge. I understand that this is an experimental tool. The second screen is just giving us a little bit of information about privacy, what data Tiller tracks and does not track, so you can read through that. I'll go ahead and accept and continue. And then here in the Labs add-on, you can see there are a few different options. Add a solution, that's where you can add those templates like the debt progress or the net worth tracker, things like that, to your foundation template. So from here, we'll want to choose Tools, go to Utilities, choose Migration Helper. And then next we'll want to grab the URL of our feedbot sheet. So I'm going to copy that from the address bar, and then I'll paste it into the source spreadsheet field at the top. I like to leave the defaults for transactions. There's a lot of options here. You can review those and see if you want to change anything, but the defaults are great. For balance history, if you're tracking any manual accounts here on the right-hand side on the account sheet in your feedbot sheet, if you want to bring those manual accounts over and all the balance history for them, you'll want to make sure you choose balance history option here. Otherwise, I recommend unchecking this because the Tiller Money Feeds add-on has already brought in all the available balance history directly from our database, so there's no need to check this option off. For categories, I like to choose to overwrite the existing categories because I don't want those example categories in here. I just want my custom categories that I've already set up in my source sheet. And then finally, if you have AutoCAT in your source sheet, you'll want to go ahead and check the AutoCAT option. It's going to bring over the rules sheet, and then you'll have one more step to upgrade to using the new version of AutoCAT. It's more powerful. So I'll go ahead and I'll click Migrate here. And then it's just going to take a few seconds to review the source sheet, pull over the categories, pull over any transactions where we have the same transaction ID. You can see that it's now just populated the category that I'd already spent time customizing in my destination sheet. And I can check my balance history, and it brought over that one manual account, and it assigned it a manual ID that the Tiller Money Feeds add-on will be able to read, things like that. So now I've got my customized data over in my foundation template, and it just took a few seconds. So I'll go ahead and click Done here, and then I'll close this out, and let's just quickly look at the Tiller Money Feeds add-on. I'll open the sidebar to just kind of review, that it's able to pick up that manual account. Now, instead of using the accounts sheet to save those manual accounts, the accounts sheet looks a little bit different. It's really just for overriding the class or setting the groups. So if I want to say that my checking account is in the group personal, I can set that. It's not a place where you save manual accounts anymore. That happens in the Tiller Money Feeds add-on itself. So if I click manual accounts, it's going to load, and then it's going to pull in that manual account that the migration helper brought over for me, the value, which I can update, and then let's say that my home value went up just a little bit, and then I'll go ahead and click update balance. And then I should see on the balances sheet that it actually updated the balance of that home asset. So that's where you would find that's how you would update the balance for manual accounts. And then let's go ahead and finish getting our AutoCAT upgraded. So I can click AutoCAT Beta here in the sidebar for Tiller Money Feeds. It's going to tell me I need to migrate, and this is really just upgrading the version of the sheet. This is the old version of the rules sheet. Now when I migrate, it's going to create this backup sheet here. And then you can see the AutoCAD rules sheet looks just a little bit different in the newer version. The great thing about the new version is that I can really consolidate these groceries, all these groceries rules into a single rule with this multi-criteria rule concept. So I'm going to put this in quotes, and then I'm going to separate it by comma with a comma, and then I'm going to go ahead and grab Trader Joe's, that part of the description, keyword, add it to my single rule here. I'll do the same for this Whole Foods description, separate it by a comma, got to make sure it's in quotes. And then finally do the last thing for this French Broad Food Co-op, separate with a comma, put it in quotes. So now I can delete these other 3 rules for groceries because I have a single rule to handle it all. I could do the same thing with gas and any other transactions where I want to use the same category. I can create these multi-criteria rules. I can also, there's a lot of other powerful things you could do with this new version of AutoCAD. I won't demo it in this video, but you can review that on the Help Center and check it out there. The last thing I want to share about AutoCAD here is that you can turn on this auto run on update, toggle that on, and then anytime the Tiller Money Feeds add-on updates your sheet with new data, it's going to run through this rule set. So it makes it really powerful option for getting your transactions categorized automatically. Let's go ahead and head back to the main menu here in the Tiller Money Feeds add-on and explore one last thing and just talk through a little bit of the differences between the way a Feedbot sheet updates and the way a Tiller Money Feeds sheet updates, because there is a pretty big difference. So one thing you'll probably want to do is head into the settings section here in the Tiller Money Feeds add-on and turn on this auto update option. So this is going to pull in transactions automatically for any accounts where we can automatically refresh those. That auto update happens about once a day in the very early morning, think like 1 or 2 a.m. So if we've been able to pull in transactions automatically for accounts, here on the account summary, you can tell how long ago, these different institutions refreshed, then the Tiller Money Feeds add-on will pull that data in automatically. Now, if any of your accounts require 2-factor authentication, multi-factor authentication, you're probably familiar with the process of visiting the console here and refreshing those accounts. If for some reason you changed a password, you might see this fix option, or maybe there's an error because there's an institution outage, something like that. You may have to take some action in order to pull the data. And then once you launch the Tiller Money Feeds add-on again, if you have the settings, auto update setting turned on, then it should automatically start updating. So that's it for the migration from a Feedbot sheet to the foundation template. If you prefer not to switch templates and you want to stay in your existing template that was built by Tiller Money, we'll have another video covering the steps of getting that existing template working with the Tiller Money Feeds add-on. If you have any issues transitioning from your Feedbot sheet into the foundation template using the Tiller Money Feeds add-on, please reach out to support and we'd be happy to help. Happy tracking!